Take two, as the kids say. We're recording.
Oh, shoot.
Hello! Welcome to the kitchen. It's my kitchen, but also AJ's here. This is AJ.
Hi, friends.
He's one of my best friends, and also Jamie's in the back over there. That's Jamie.
Where's Ted?
Josh is here and lives in my house too. Today we're going to be doing something super special and fun, and we're going to be making Spam and rice, and I'll let AJ talk about as we do it why we're doing this and all that fun stuff. But I figured because it's Asian Heritage Month and AJ is Filipino, that we could do something fun and cultural, and we could also segue into something else fun we're doing next month. So that's what we're doing today.
I need to introduce this. It's actually called Spamsilog. That's the right, correct terms for that.
Spam what?
Silog.
Silog.
Filipinos are kind of like the world's first hybrids. So essentially we are mixed with Spanish heritage and Asian heritage.
You're like a Prius.
Yeah, exactly. We run low on fuel.
You were telling me that Spam is like a very cultural thing in Filipino culture.
Yeah, because so it was invented, not to get all historical, but
no,
for
get
World
historical.
War II. So it became really big over in the Asian countries for military men. And so it's specifically for Pacific Islanders and Asians. So we grew really big in Hawaii and the Philippines and also Korea, essentially almost all of Asia. So.
And I never had Spam growing up, but AJ made us this a couple months ago, and it was fucking delicious.
Guess what? White people love it. It's not going to be your typical Spamsilog. It's going to be kind of cheap and fast. So, because originally Spamsilog is sliced into just regular slices with fried rice on the side, which is synagogue in Tagalog, and then an egg on the side. So it's kind of everything is together but separately. We are just going to dice it up and put it all in one big bowl. So that's the way me and my brother eat it. So regardless, it's still silog.
So
gotta get your sea logs.
Josh is
go in
gonna
the
wash
water.
that dish and walk in front of the camera at least 8 more times. I'm gonna do no. It's 1-to-1 in an Instapot if you have an Instapot rice cooker or whatever. So I'm gonna do 2 cups. How many cups of rice should we do, Josh? Do you think? 2?
Hey, AJ.
Hey,
AJ, how many cups of rice should we do?
He wasn't sure either. How much leftover rice do you want? Is what I'm saying.
They're behind 3.
oh, knife?
Make 3 cups.
Knife. 3 cups.
Knife.
How big a knife?
She's got a knife.
Bigger than that. He likes the big one.
Oh.
I'm telling you, he likes to use the biggest knife you have.
No, you are fine.
He does, yeah.
That is perfectly fine. So, Spamsilog. Okay, we open up the Spam, and we're done. A lot of people always have this struggle of trying to get the Spam. They're always pounding through in it, make sure it gets out. But actually, a little trick, just FYI. Let's take a knife, go in the corner, make a little air pocket, and then.
Yeah!
Easy peasy.
Yeah!
Easy. That's some
He's got a
Spam.
knife!
I did wash my hands. Okay, and so usually Spamsilog is, like I said, is done in slices and you fry it up. Here we're going to cube it just because it makes it easier to put it all in a bowl on top of the rice with the egg on top of it. And then with that as well, especially if you're making it for a bunch of people, it's much easier that way.
Mazel tov.
It's a boy!
So AJ,
Yes, ma'am.
you were not born in the Philippines. Where were you born?
So I was born in Guam, and my social security number is...
You were born in Guam, but you're a U.S. citizen.
Yeah, so there is a U.S. Air Force base on Guam. And so, obviously, if you are a Filipino American, essentially 90% chance your dad or your mom is in the Air Force or military or something like that. So, that's one of my favorite jokes from Joe Coy because it's so true. But yeah, so I was born in Guam, and my brother was born in Okinawa, so we were just kind of traveling everywhere when we were kids. I don't remember any of it though.
You grew up mostly in the U.S. Do you know when you came to the U.S.? You were still little.
I was too little. The only thing I remember is South Carolina.
Oh, you were in South Carolina?
Yeah, my dad was stationed there. and that's the only little bit I remember. But other than that, I just remember living in Campbell, Savona in this trail park.
So you grew up in essentially what is like one of the whitest places in New York. Like, was there any other like person of color in your school?
Very rarely, but essentially me and my brother were like the flies in the milk bowl, as we like to call it.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah, so growing up, it was definitely different just because we were like the only Asians in the school, versus there was one African American. So
That's it.
That was it. But yeah, essentially we all like just had all white friends, white girlfriends, you know, growing up. So it was just kind of like I didn't feel like an outcast until people pointed it out, you know.
And that wasn't apparent probably until you got older, or was that like even when you were young?
That was when I was young.
Really?
Oh yeah. Like, you know, I mean, so that's the thing is like being a Asian kid in an all white, you know, town and school, it's just like, you know, we get all these Asian jokes and all these kind of racist comments, but you know, you have to grow like a kind of a thick skin, you know, dealing with all this. So, which is, you know, eye-opening when you kind of go to like a bigger city or even extend, like go to a bigger school. You see, you know, kind of more, you know, diversity. And then you also realize like, hey, you know, not everything's filled with kind of like racist comments. You don't have to be putting your guard up all the time. So yeah, it's just like you kind of get used to it though. There is Asian population here, but the first time I actually seen like a whole bunch of people, like Asians, in one area was for this candle lighting for the most recent Asian hate crime, and they all gathered all in the park, and we drove past it, and I was just like, wow, it's incredible to see that many people, you know, that are Asian, you know, of all like Korean, Chinese, Japanese, Filipino. They were all just there. It was just kind of really eye-opening. The most eye-opening experience though is when I went to San Diego, and my mom took me to a Filipino market, and I fit in for the first time, like ever. Like people were actually coming up to me speaking Tagalog, which was like super crazy, and I had to tell them, I don't speak Tagalog. I'm literally like the whitest Filipino here. So I was kind of in a way like, man, like I'm not cultured. So.
But like it's just interesting that you have had such a white upbringing in such a white community, but like I love that the older you've gotten, the more like you've gotten
more
into
exposure.
that aspect of it.
Do you have a plate?
Yeah, let's get to cooking.
So we're heating up the pan, and then we're gonna throw the Spam in there with minced garlic. So like I said, with Spamsilog, usually this is a different version. You usually make the fried rice with some garlic in it, but my version and the way we grew up using it was we put the minced garlic with the Spam. You don't have to use garlic. You can just plain old if you're just looking to be lazy, just put the Spam in there, just cook it up, fry it up, put it all together. But you want some garlic in there if you want to go all Spamsilog on it. Okay, can we make this a slow motion shot where it's just like... You know what's bad? I wasn't even looking where I was pouring, so it could have gone all over.
You know, that's alright.
You're a pro.
Because it went.
So, I don't add salt to anything, maybe the eggs, but essentially Spam has a lot of sodium already, so it's already salty, so I don't add any salt. But if you do want to add a little spice to it, I add a little black pepper. You can cook the Spam to your preference, whether if you kind of like it a little well done, like a little bit crispier, you can wait until that, but I like it kind of in between where it has a little crispiness on the outside but still retains like kind of like more, I don't know how to say it, bouncy?
Bounce.
Little bounce.
Got a little more give to
It's
it.
got a little Iggy Azalea in it, if you will.
Wait one
That's
second.
a
That's
reference.
a bounce reference, Mario.
And so like I said, we don't measure, we just eyeball. Me, I personally go like good old 3 scoops. So this is nice. We got that little crispiness on the outside once it sits a little bit. So I always do rice in the bowl, spam on top, and then egg last right on top of the spam.
So we're gonna fry some eggs.
Yeah, try some eggies, and just let you know, I am not a good egg cooker. I only know how to cook 1 egg at a time. I don't know how to do 2. It's too hard. I learned how to crack an egg one-handed. It's not pretty, but I like to do it.
It's beautiful.
And you always want to, and this is a misconception too, a lot of people always crack their eggs on edges and stuff. That actually breaks the yolk easier, so you always want to use a flat surface, just FYI, to crack eggs. You just want to... So you always want an over easy egg, so that way we can do this magic that we're about to do. Never if you like them scrambled, respect, but Asian way, no scrambled. One way we do scrambled is if you're doing fried rice. So like I said, the main things that we eat with is fork and spoon. And so, because even if you have a piece of chicken, we tear it up. We don't use knives, we just tear it up. So with the egg, I like to just tear right in the middle of that. Oh, and I didn't do it over easy. I fried it a little bit, but it's fine. It is fine. It is fine, but we are just spreading it regardless.
Fuck yeah.
Yep. And now, put this to the sides. And then this is when you add your soy sauce. Spread it all over there. And now you have Spamsilog.
Ugh. That looks good as hell.
I wish it was over easy, but hey, it's alright. It's still good.
My precious. Okay, so while AJ is making the rest of our food, as nice as he is, the other part of this, we were gonna do this as a live stream, and we're gonna do it as a charity live stream, and we're gonna have people like donate to AJ's Asian charity of choice. We decided that we wanted to make it a much bigger deal than just a cooking live stream. I haven't done a charity stream since October, and I feel like I would like to make this my big like summer one. And so I think what we're gonna do, we don't have a date yet.
No, we don't have a date yet, but we will.
We will, and once we get a date, I'll make sure to post it all over social media. I'll put it in the description of the video as soon as it's done. But we would really like to, I think we've decided to raise money for the Asian Mental Health Collective.
Yeah.
And they are a really cool kind of mix of Mental Health Awareness Month and Asian Heritage Month, which are important to AJ and myself and everybody else in this room, I think.
Yeah.
So
Yes. I feel like I have to say yes because you said I think.
Yes.
yes, for sure.
So, yeah, because
You just need the time.
especially during these times, during the pandemic, you know, it's very important for Asian mental health, especially what's going on recently in bigger cities like New York City and, you know, Los Angeles, where there's a lot of Asian hate crimes going on. It's actually raised tremendously this year, from like 30% to 125%. And if it keeps spreading, obviously, it's no good. So, you know, we all need those support groups, you know, and I think for the Asian community to have a support group for mental health is very important.
Hopefully in the next It'll probably be in June. That would be ideal, I think, so that we're relatively close to Asian Heritage Month and Mental Health Awareness Month. But we would like to do a group stream, and we're gonna have fun incentives, and we're gonna have like fun Filipino snacks I'm gonna order. And we don't know exactly what we're doing, but we know that's the goal. So just keep an eye on like my Twitter, and I'll talk about it on Twitch and
Discord.
Yep.
And we will have a plan, and
Yeah.
it'll be super fun.
I'll also share it on my feeds for Josh and I's little YouTube channel for the Druthers Brothers. And
Put a link in there.
right down here for more editing for Bree to do. And also, I have another kind of podcast talk show called Coffee, Brunches, and Brews.
Put it down there.
I'll put it on Instagram. You can follow me too, Jeh Keez.
All right, so we're gonna enjoy our food. Thank you so much for watching. Again, you can follow AJ and Josh on the Druthers Brothers or Coffee, Brunches, and Brews. Brunches? Brunch.
Brunches.
Brunches. It is brunches. You can follow me on Twitch if you so want to, twitch.tv/Breezeby. If you want to like this video, you can, but it's at your own free will. I don't care. And then I will put a link down to the Asian Mental Health Collective below.
Also, just a little shout out. I like to thank Bree for having me on her YouTube channel and future stream show. So it's quite the honor.
Oh, no, it's not. But thank you for that anyway.
Just being nice.
Okay. Goodbye, guys.
Oh.